Where have you been? Pathetic Industries YouTube channel. Make some more fucking videos, cunt.
Darkness took me, and I strayed out of thought and time. Stars wheeled overhead, and every day was as long as a life age on the earth. But it was not the end. I felt life in me again. I've been sent back until my task is done.
Gonna compare coming back to a YouTube channel after 6 months of a fucking wizard coming back to the world or whatever. Because that's humble. And that's what I am, if nothing if not humble. Even with a cough and, like a shit voice, we're going to learn some more impressions. And I didn't sync this at all, so give me 2 seconds. So in my research of my own voices, when I was sort of just trying to get back into it, I realized I can actually do quite a lot of SpongeBob impressions. Like characters from SpongeBob, not just the one character over and over again. So I figure, why not we just learn those? Get back into it with five voices from everyone's favorite cartoon sponge. So the key to doing Spongebob Squarepants, from what I figured out in the 5 seconds I thought about it, is essentially it's sort of like every sort of nerd voice. Like most dudes sound like this, Then you just get rid of that nose block and just turn up the pitch as high as you can.
And then you get Patrick. Hey, Mr. Krabs.
It's fun. The one thing that most voices need is a trigger, like a trigger sentence or a trigger word to sort of put you back into the character, like straight in there and figure it out. I think the best one for SpongeBob for me is Goofy Goober, or just the song in general.
I'm a goofy goober, yeah.
That whole thing, that whole dealio. And then the other important part of SpongeBob is obviously the laugh, which is pretty much just the noise. Except you just sort of hit yourself just there, and it sort of makes your voice sort of bounce up and down. So you go, ah. Moving swiftly onward. That's SpongeBob. It's a really easy trick. Just some nasaliness and a high-pitched voice. And if you want to laugh, just slap yourself on the bottom of the chin, right where your flab lives. Because you fucking love cake, don't you? Hey, I think I've leveled the audio properly for the first time ever. This is really even. Patrick from the show SpongeBob Squarepants. I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's what we're doing today. It's in the title. You know how if someone is being a cunt, just in general, you're at school and there's a school bully, or you're on the internet and someone's saying them dumb shit, and the voice you use to explain to your friend what they said, that's Patrick. It's oh dude, I don't know what I'm doing, what's going on? So it's kind of like that, but you just sort of breathe out more with it.
Oh, I'm a goofy goober, yeah.
You're a goofy goober, yeah. Yeah, it's exactly the voice you use when you're trying to be an idiot or play an idiot. He's the quintessential original idiot. Do you see my underwear? No, Patrick.
Do you want to?
No, Patrick.
SpongeBob!
See, easy. What's next? Who's the next one that I wrote down? Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs is one that I had to kind of practice for a second because the way I used to do it, was like too piratey and not enough Mr. Krabs.
Like a pirate for me is down here. But this sounds nothing like Mr. Krabs, does it? Sounds more like Hagrid if he was on the high seas, doesn't it? Yar there, Hermione!
Mr. Krabs is kind of like Hagrid, a nice, low, gravelly pirate. Except he's got an American accent, for one. For the most part. It's like American-y, Irish-ish. The real science behind voices. And it's a nice, middle pitch. It's not too high, it's not super low. It's just nice in the middle there. I'm here at the Critical Crab too, Mr. Krabs. Hi! I like money!
Mr. Krabs, what made you want to build a Krusty Krab right next to the original?
Money! Any pirate voice has a bit of gravel in it.
You just turn it up in your throat. It's right. It sits here, somewhere in there, right where you get like glandular fever bumps. The voice sits right there. Make your own bubbles, and then you kind of just start talking. It's just purely an American accent, and then this voice, this gravel, nice middle pitch. Kind of almost everyone can do it. Really, it's relatively here, and then you can just kind of say anything. SpongeBob, after you're done cleaning the Krusty Krab, would you like to clean my own anus?
Whatever you want. And you can say funny stuff, or you can say what I said. It's kind of up to you. Fuck. Just remembered that I forgot how to do Squidward. By the way, Squidward is the next voice we're going to do. Squidward is a real challenge for me because it's really close to a lot of other voices. It's kind of like halfway between Peter Griffin, Fozzie Bear, and Cleveland Brown. If that was like a triangle, Squidward's like right in the middle of it. And it's tough to explain, I guess. I mean, if you watch... I was going to say if you watch the 6 impressions with one vocal trick, but fucking everyone's watched that. It's my burden. If you can go, then you can do all these voices that combine to make Squidward. What helps me for Squidward especially, and I don't recommend doing this for any other voice, because you will sound like a fucking idiot, is actually holding your nose. Like just blocking it. Just close your nose, you moron.
SpongeBob. See, it's easy. As soon as you do this, it makes perfect sense. And then eventually you get to a point where you don't need to block your nose at all, and you can just start talking like this. Oh, Gary.
Yawn. Just a nice nasally voice. Blocking your nose really helps. And making the old classic car honk noise from the first impression tutorial video. Next up is so much fun to do. I was doing it last night, way too loud considering Curtis is asleep. Is Plankton. Plankton's great.
Yes!
Yes! He sounds kind of like most cartoon superheroes. Like, I've done a few of these voice impression thingies. One of them was some anime guy called All Might, who's like Superman in some fucking anime. I don't know. It was a request, alright? Fuck off. I don't know what I'm talking about. I just listen to the voice. And it sounds heroic and breathy
and up here, and very, very manly. And Plankton is almost exactly the same. Except with Plankton, you sort of do the same thing you do with
Patrick Warburton. And you sort of squeeze your brow just a little bit, which holds your nose in up here, up in your sinuses, just a tiny bit. Gives you a little bit of nasaliness.
which allows you to do Plankton. The other thing with Plankton is when he gets a little too mad.
He has that nice strainy gravel. It's it's just bigger. So instead of like the usual gravel where you're like, oh yeah, you just sort of want to stretch out your words.
It's evil. It's diabolical. It's lemon-scented.
This plan C can't possibly fail!
Yeah, the footnotes on Plankton were hold it in here, sound like a superhero, and do a little bit of a brow furrow so that you got some nasaliness held up in your face. For SpongeBob, the trigger word that I use is
Goofy Goober.
fuck yeah, nerd voice, just classic like oh man, I don't understand what I'm doing, and just turn it up to here and get rid of that letter B.
Hey, Patrick.
Patrick is just the classic voice that one would use for an internet idiot. If you just exhale on every single word.
SpongeBob.
Mr. Krabs is your traditional pirate. A nice middle pitch, a nice level of gravel, and then you just start talking, really.
Squidward is, held up in your nose.
And the last one is Plankton, who is a nice, low, breathy voice coming straight from your chest with a big
Breath of air. And then you just breathe out and start talking.
and we're done. Nice and easy, innit? I mean, making videos again. I mean, the voices might take some practice. But that's the other part. You just gotta fucking do it. Practice. Yeah, that's about it. Sorry about the shirt. I got my laundry mixed up with a gay man. And then we put them in the same wash. So, just covered in... I was gonna say fag, but I don't know. That shouldn't be the return, you know? Shouldn't be the big return. Covered in homo. That's slightly better. on like the scale of depravity. Yeah, it's it's faggot, fag, homo, gay boy, dad. Sorry, daddy.